Familiar, you're familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hello students. So in the last video we have discussed about the two types of sources, correct? Voltage source and current source. So in fact this voltage source is not that different from the current source, okay? Both can be obtained from a given single source, okay? So how, in what condition the given source behaves as a voltage source, and with what condition the given source behaves as a current source. So that depends upon the externally connected load, okay? That's it. So now let us see how it is possible to make the equivalence between the voltage source and current source. Yeah, okay. So as I said, you have to look at the externally connected load. So RL is the externally connected load. So when it is very large compared to the internal resistance RS, then the given source can be considered as voltage source, okay. And similarly, if the connected load, external connected load RL is very small compared to the internal resistance RS, then the source can be considered as current source, okay. That's it. So in that way we can have the given source as either voltage source or current source, okay. That is depending upon the externally connected load. Clear? As per that explanation, we can say it is possible to convert voltage source to current source, or current source to voltage source, okay. So that is vice versa, it is possible, okay. Now first of all you have to prove that, okay, the given circuit with a given source, okay, behaves as both voltage source and current source also, okay. So we can prove it in three different methods, okay. In the first method, okay, let's consider the first method where we are considering a given circuit with the internal resistance RS1 and a load resistor RL, okay. So we are connected in two manners here. So in the first figure we can see that it looks like a voltage source, okay, because the source is connected to a given resistance, internal resistance in series, okay, in series. So whereas here we are considering the source as the current source, it behaves as a current source here, where the internal resistance is connected in parallel. Normally it should be connected in parallel with the given source in case of current sources, okay. So RL is same in both the cases, okay. So these two circuits are obtained from the same given source. Now let us try to prove how it is possible to obtain voltage source and current source are equivalent to each other. Now in the first method you consider, as I said, RL, you consider the RL is the main factor. First let us assume the connected RL should be reduced to 0. How it is possible to make 0? By just shorting the circuits across the terminals A and B, okay. You can just short it like this, okay, so that the resistance is eliminated, okay. The circuit is closed from the terminal A to B directly, okay, that is called short circuited. So RL is equal to 0 in the sense the circuit across the terminals A and B is short circuited. Clear? Now when the terminals are short circuited, so what is the current through the short circuited load, okay. So that is given by IL is equal to load current, actually you are taking IL through the load resistor. So in this case actually RL is equal to 0, whatever it is. So IL is equal to, okay, when it is shorted we have to consider the ratio of Vs to RS1, because in this short circuited circuit only RS1 is the resistor, okay, internal resistance RS1 is the resistor. So according to Ohm's law, IL is equal to just ratio of Vs divided by RS1 gives the current in the circuit, okay, that is considered as IL. So let it be equation 1 here first, okay. Now to come to the second diagram, so where RL is again made 0 in this case also, okay. If RL is reduced to 0 now in the figure B, okay, so then what is the current? So the current, so the terminals are like short circuited again here also, right. So where the current has to pass, okay, that load current expected to be passing through the short circuited load is nothing but the current obtained by the current source itself, okay. So basically it is considered as current source here. So the current obtained from the source is passing through the circuit from point A to B, okay, where RS2 is ignored here, because the current always finds the easy path where there is no resistance at all, okay. It finds the easy path to pass from A to B terminal, and hence we can say here the load current is equal to the source current itself. Clear? So because the total resistance in this circuit, what is the total resistance? You have to consider the total resistance, isn't it? So of a parallel combination of RS2, one of the resistors here RS2 and RL is made to 0, isn't it, when it is shorted like A to B. So RL is equal to how much? 0. Okay, short circuited resistance is 0 always. So what is the parallel combination resistance then? So between RS2 and 0 resistance, so it is equal to 0 resistance itself. Okay, so that is nothing but when it is parallelly connected, the parallel combination equivalent resistance is equal to short circuited resistance only, okay, through which the current is passing. Okay, then to prove that voltage source representation and current source representations are to be equal, both are to be equal, then what is the condition you have to observe here is IL, okay, the load current must be equal to source current, IL must be equal to IS. So IL is equal to IS. So what is the equation for IL? Already obtained from equation 1 as Vs divided by Rs1. Okay, so we can calculate the IL as Vs by Rs1, and that must be equal to Is in case of current source circuit. Then with this condition we can say both voltage source representation and current source representations are equivalent to each other here. Clear? So now let us see the second method, where in the second method, instead of shorting the circuit, we are keeping the very high resistance here, okay, infinite resistance across the terminals A and B. So with that method also we can prove that both Vs and Cs, voltage source and current source representations are equivalent to each other. Okay, now look at the second method, where we are considering RL be disconnected, that is terminals A and B are open. So what do you mean by that? So we are just removing the RL. Okay, in the part 1 we have just shorted the circuit by removing the RL. We have just shorted the circuit from A to B. Now you are keeping the terminals A and B open, okay, by removing the resistor like this, RL. So what is the resistance across A and B now when it is open terminal? So you have to assume that RL is equal to infinity. RL is equal to infinity. Load resistance is equal to infinite resistance. So in that condition, so what is the terminal voltage across that A and B? Okay, VT. So across the open terminal we can measure the terminal voltage VT. Okay, so from both the sources here also, okay, by removing the resistor RL. So what is the terminal voltage? So that you can write the equation for that. So from this voltage source, okay, in the voltage source representation, VT is equal to Vs itself. Whatever the source voltage obtained, so that is equal to the terminal voltage across A and B. So directly it is equal to each other. So whereas in case of current source representation, okay, so Vt is equal to, it is not just equal to like Vs, because here we don't have the voltage source. So representation of current source it is. So according to Ohm's law, you have to consider the voltage drop across the resistor Rs2. So due to the flow of current Is, okay, so product of Is into Rs2, okay, is the equation for the terminal voltage. Okay, so equation 3 and 4 are the terminal voltage for voltage source and current sources. Now what is our aim? So you have to make the equivalence between the voltage source representation and current source representation, correct? So for equivalence, so for that equivalence, both the representations, okay, both equation 3 and 4 must be equal. So whatever the terminal voltage we get across the terminals A and B should be equal. So consider the equation 3 and 4 equivalent to each other. Okay, so Vt is equal to Vs, that is equal to Is into Rs2. Okay, so now from this equation 5, okay, so just substitute. Now we have to substitute this Vs, okay, the source voltage obtained already from the equation 2. Okay, in the previous equation 2 we have IL is equal to Vs divided by Rs1. By cross multiplication we can get the equation for Vs here, correct? So Vs is equal to what? IL into Rs1, okay, IL into Rs1. So let it be equation number 6. Now just make the equating now between 5 and 6 here, because we have the equation for Vs here as Is into Rs1. Here Vs is equal to Is into Rs2. So therefore we can write it as now IS into RS1 is equal to IS into RS2. In both the equations, the current is common. Okay, source current is common. We can just cancel it like this, correct? So left with RS1 is equal to RS2. Okay, that means the resistor, either it is in series with the source RS1 or in parallel with the current source. Both the resistors are made equal. Okay, so these two are equal for the equivalence representation between voltage source and current source. Okay, that is the condition we have to get here. So by treating now, instead of considering when both are equal, RS1 and RS2 are equal, then no need to consider it as RS1 or RS2. So you can just consider it as the source resistance, RS itself. Okay, so by treating that resistance as just RS, just only RS, then equation 4 and 5. Okay, so from this equation 4 and 5, so they reduce to Vs is equal to, where is that equation 4 and 5? Okay, Vs is equal to, so Is into Rs only, no need to write Rs2 here. Okay, Is into only Rs. Just you can calculate the source voltage by knowing the source current. Okay, so that is equal to the product of Is into Rs. So no need to write as a separately internal resistance is connected in series for voltage source or parallel in current source, etc. Okay, in both the cases, just you take it as internal resistance, then the voltage drop will be same, with the condition the terminals A and B are open in this method. Okay, so now let us see the third method. Okay, where the load resistor we have to assume now not equal to 0 or not equal to infinity. Okay, it is in between. It may take the value in between 0 and infinity, any finite value. Okay, with that condition, how we can make the equivalence between voltage source and current source. Okay, now look at the third method. So as I said, so you have to consider the value of load resistor may be any finite value. Okay, that means it is greater than 0, less than infinity. So with this particular finite value of load resistor, so we are connecting that load resistor across the terminals A and B in case of voltage source and in case of current source also. Okay, separately we can calculate the current through the load RL and here also. So let it be IL1. In case of voltage source, the current through the load resistor is IL1. In case of current source, it is IL2. So from the figure A, so what is the value of IL1, current through the load resistor RL? It is equal to, there is a voltage source Vs and total resistance is Rs plus RL. Okay, so therefore Vs divided by Rs plus RL is the equation for current through the load, right? Similarly from equation, from the figure B, so what is the current through this load now? That is IL2. Okay, IL2 is equal to, now it is not a voltage source, right? So whenever there are two resistors connected in parallel to a given current source, so how do you calculate the current? Okay, so that is through the load IL, isn't it? So we need the current through the load RL. So for that you have to multiply Is to the Rs. Okay, so these two should be multiplied when they are parallel to each other. So Is into the total, when you calculate the total resistance, so multiply this Rs to the total resistance. Okay, divide this Rs to the total resistance. So Rs divided by total resistance is now Rs plus RL. Okay, total in the sense here, so in the entire loop. Okay, so even though when they are parallel, so this should be the ratio, Rs divided by Rs plus RL. Okay, so that is the method of calculating the current in any given resistor in case of current source. Okay, so we need the current through RL, so that is why IL2 is equal to, so Is into, you consider the current obtained from the source first, into the ratio you have to consider, isn't it? When you consider the ratio, so take through this resistor is required here, so leave that resistor, take the other resistor, that is Rs. Okay, Rs divided by total of these two, Rs plus RL in the denominator, that way. Okay, so now in this equation, the product Is into Rs can be treated as Vs itself according to Ohm's law, because Is into Rs is equal to Vs, isn't it? So from the equation 10, you can see that comparing with the equation 9, so Vs divided by Rs plus RL, here also Vs by Rs plus RL only. So both are same, equation 9 and 10 are equivalent to each other. So therefore the current through either RL or RL in the current source, so IL1 is equal to IL2. Okay, both the currents drawn from the sources are equivalent to each other. So that indicates for whatever may be the value of load resistor RL, okay, in between 0 and infinity. So current drawn from the source, voltage source or current source, are equivalent to each other. Okay, so again we are establishing the equivalence between voltage source and current source with any value of RL also in the circuit. Okay, so that is the concept of establishing the equivalence between voltage source and current source. Clear? Okay, at last we can show how we can convert the voltage source into current source or current source into voltage source. Okay, for that, so I am considering a practical voltage source here. See, this is the part of the circuit. So in which we have a AC voltage source. So a series impedance is connected in series. Okay, so that is nothing but the combination of a voltage source with a series impedance, okay, gives a practical voltage source. So once it is open across the terminals A and B, okay, so this is considered as a practical voltage source. So how to convert this practical voltage source into current source? So by just connecting a short circuit wire here. So that means the terminals A and B is directly short circuited, so that the resistance which is present in series will become parallel across a current source. Okay, now the current source and the impedance are parallel to each other, so that across the terminals A and B, so we can measure the voltage. Okay, so voltage drop from the voltage source or current source. So the flow of current, okay, the flow of current through the internal resistance, that is ZS, is same as this internal current IS also. Okay, so you can calculate the short circuited current ISC, that means internal short circuited current is equal to, according to Ohm's law, it is just equal to Vs by Zs. Okay, Vs is the voltage source, corresponding internal resistance is Zs. So in case of AC, we can call it as impedance. That's it. Okay, otherwise it is RS only. Okay, in case of DC circuit, it is RS. In case of AC circuit, it is Zs. Okay, now in the second part, you can show the conversion of current source into voltage source here. So directly you take the current source in which internal resistance is connected in parallel as Zs. Okay, so the terminals are again open here. So the terminals A and B are open. So that means it is a symbol for a current source. Okay, so how to convert it? So once the terminals are open, we can understand that the parallel resistance impedance Zs is considered as in series with the voltage source. Okay, across the terminals A and B, so we can measure the voltage as terminal voltage. Okay, so that terminal voltage is called Vt. So Vt is equal to the source voltage itself, because there is no other load. Okay, once the terminals A and B are open here, so without any load, we can consider the terminal voltage is equal to the source voltage itself. Okay, again according to Ohm's law, it is given by Is into Zs. So as we already discussed that in both the cases, the internal impedance is same. So voltage measured across the terminals Vt should be equal to the source voltage. Okay, whether you measure it from the current source or voltage source, so both the values are same. That means the circuits are equivalent to each other. Okay, so you can understand in both the cases, either you can convert voltage source to current source or current source to voltage source. Okay, that's it. Okay, then I will continue in the next video. See you in the next video.